Welcome everybody to Tanya Outside In. We are in chapter Kaf Hey 25. It's the second section, the second part of this chapter. Um, so far, we are chapter 25 is the finale of from chapter 18. We're now finishing it off. So chapter 18, 19 said that you would give your life up for Hashem rather than bow to Avodah Zarah. Chapter 20, 21, 22 explained how Ein Od, what it means Ein Od Milvadoi. There really is nothing other than Hashem. Shalom Ablazer. Chapter 23 discussed the connection you have to Hashem when you're doing Torah and when you're learning Torah and when you're doing mitzvahs, the other way around. Chapter 24 explains the disconnect that you experience, or you might not experience it, but what's happening when a person is involved in a Aveira. And now chapter 25 is bringing it down into a more practical, because we're it's not Michael, as Beinonim, we are not Baruch Hashem having to deal too much with the Veira, and we're more in the world of Rishus. Like how holy are we living our our permissible lives? I would assume that most of us here are no longer struggling with eating kosher. Yeah. And also with Lashon Hara as well. We should have, we should not be speaking Lashon Hara. And, but now the question becomes, now what? Now you're already holding in a good place. Now how do you go further? So the Rebbe is discussing, what we do, in regards to overcoming tivers, and exerting yourself in mitzvahs asay, and exerting yourself, so to speak, in mitzvahs lois asay, like abstaining from things, and that's really where we're holding right now. He also mentioned tshuva a little bit, but let's jump into where we're holding. So we're holding at the bottom of page 62. Okay, it's Kaf Ches Shvat. Ukayotzi Ba'elu. Let's just backtrack a few lines. Let's go back to Kav Zion. The first one line is V'sholit, Moshe Olav Kanoida. V'hem v'chinas v'asei toiv. So we were speaking about Sumeira. Now we're talking about Asei Toiv. Lizgabe ka'ari b'gevura v'oimetz alev. You have to strengthen yourself like a lion with tremendous resolve in your heart. Yeah, neged yetzer. Hamachbid es gufoi umapla lav otzla v'chin yisoda offer shebenefesh shebahamis. Melahatriach gufoi bezrizus. That you have to be like fire against laziness. Yeah, your nefesh shebahamis is lazy. He's mamish lazy, and that is he makes your body feel heavy, and he wants you to sit around and procrastinate. Yeah, everyone that I speak to, their biggest problem is procrastination. Literally everyone, and that comes from your soda offer. Why, by the way, anybody knows what's the beginning of Tanya? The Rebbe connects the Arba Sodas, yeah, Avir, Mayim, Aish, and Offer. Offer, he just said now is the root of Utzlus, which is laziness. Does anybody remember
Depression.
depression? What's the kesher between laziness and depression?
Stagnation, lack of feeling.
So
No fruit,
what?
no flow, no flow.
So the way Rav Manis said it, this is a little stark, and I don't want to not I'm not I do appreciate what depression is, I think, at least a little bit. But don't take this in the wrong way, but it is a laziness to experience emotion. That is what depression is. It's an unavailability to emotion, just like a lazy person is unavailable to get off the couch and go for a run. Yeah, it's the same. It takes energy to have an emotion. So that's why laziness and atzlus and atzvus are connected to each other. They both come from the Yasoda offer. Yeah, Michael.
Is that tied to being selfish, or is selfish a little bit different category?
Well, selfish is selfish and selfless. That is everything. Everything else fits into those. Those are not like one of the biggest mistakes, again, from my perspective, is talking about Anivus and Gaiva as character traits. Like there's Anivus, there's Chesed, there's Gvura, there's the Anivus is not grouped together with other character traits, and Gaiva is not another bad character trait. Yeah, like there's Gaiva and there's selfishness. So there's Gaiva and then there's laziness and then there's Tivers. And although that's how the Tanya presents it, but Gaiva really is Gaiva is everything. Gaiva is the root of all evil. Gaiva is evil, and Anivus is good, is goodness, and then everything else fits into those. So Anivus and Gaiva, yeah, they're not midas. They are foundations of character. That's Paro and Moshe. And just as an interesting thing, the person's called a Baal Gaiva, but he's not called a Baal another. He's called an Onov, or he's called a possessor of Gaiva. What's the Inyan? What's with the difference in the Lashon? Why don't you call him a Geya? You said he's an Onov, he should be a Geya. Yeah? Because Gaiva's not a real Gaiva's not, you can have Gaiva, but you can't be Gaiva. You can be an Onov, but you're not called a Baal another. You can't have Anivus. Anivus is the Yid. That's why we're called Yehudim. Yeah, you are an Onov. So if you've become a Baal Gaiva, well, then you're a Baal Gaiva, meaning you own Gaiva. But it's not you. You're not. You're an Onov. A Yid is an Onov. Nachnu ma. Yeah, that's what a Yid is. A Yid is an Onov. That's what it means. Yehudi is Lashon Hoid. Is Lashon Hoid, which is Hoid Shebahoid, which is Rabbi Shimon, who was Moshe, who's Ish Onov Ma'oid. Yeah, that's what a Yid is. You are an Onov. So if a person falls from Anivus, he becomes a Baal Gaiva. He never actually becomes Gaivadik. He has Gaiva, and then you can let go of it. You are always an Onov, and you have Gaiva. You're never a Geya who has Anivus. That would be a Goyesha Matsu. Okay, so so the Yates is trying to make you be fat, and he wants you to sit there, and he doesn't want you to be Bezrizus. And remember, Zrizus is mamash. The Ramban Kodesh says in the Chumash, when he's talking about Anshe Chayil, yeah, he speaks of Anshe Chayil. I forget what Pasha that is. He speaks of Anshe Chayil. Yeah, we speak about Ashes Chayil on Friday night. Yeah, so Anshe Chayil is what we're trying to do. What does he describe Anshe Chayil as? Anyone remember? I remember with an acronym of Chazi, Tachazi, Chochem Zoriz Yosha. That's how the Ramban. That's what the Ramban calls a Anshe Chayil. We're desperate to be Anshe Chayil. That's what we're striving to become. So if you want to know the three traits that we're looking for Chazi, Chochem, Zoriz, Yosha. Yeah, Zoriz. That is a tremendous trait. Why? Why is Zriza so choshev?
Being on time, making yourself second.
Okay, yeah, but what am I thinking? Zriza,
Because you're not letting your goof pull you down. You're malam minatava.
basically, Zrizus causes Zrizus. It's a catalyst. As you're mizdares, you become more mizdares, and you become more and more effective, and you accomplish more and more and more, and you go up and up and up and up and up, and you become more and more helpful, and your life. And then this is the amazing bit that I've from my own experience. I've experienced this. I experienced this personally, Baruch Hashem, is that your life starts to stretch, and each day starts to feel like an eternity. Literally, like clock time goes very quickly. If it's 7 o'clock and you're going to give shir at 7:30, yeah, then you look at the clock again and it's 7:30. But so your actual experience of time can be quick, but it feels like time stretches, and that's what Albert Einstein said. Albert Einstein said in his theory of relativity that as you speed up, time stretches. And that's the philosophical take on that. Is Zrizus means not only do you get more things done because you're acting with Zrizus, is you actually have more time to do things also. Your time slows down. It's an amazing, like they used to say that the Bells are of, the previous Bells of Aaron Bells. You know how quickly he would daven Mincha Ma'ariv? It was said he would daven Mincha Ma'ariv in like 5-7 minutes back to back together, yeah? But the way I understand that is he was probably so mizdares that in his mind, in his experience, that 7, although we'd be seeing him like this, yeah, in his mind, he'd be saying, Shema Yisrael. That's exactly how it could be inside him. If a man is mizdaris to such a point that it could be that to an external place it would look like you're speeding away, mamash, yeah. But in your world, it's like mamash, beautifully slow, beautifully shalom dit.
What's the English what would be an English word for Zriza?
Alacrity. Thanks for that setup.
Quick.
Quick. You know the word that I use, and it's not really the right word, but it gives you the idea, is effective. I like the word effective for Zrizus. Diligent, yeah, also. But the effective is really, although effective doesn't give the idea of being quick. Like Zrizus you think is quick, yeah. But effective really is also quick, and it's like if you do it quick and it breaks, then there's no point doing it quick, because you have to spend more time doing it again. So I use the word effective in my mind, but Zrizus is the word. But Zrizus is mamash, walk quickly, and when you turn a corner, yeah, like brush like when you're go-karting. When you go-karting, you take the corner very tight, yeah. So do that. Take corners tight when you walk. It's a mindset. It's make use of every second. Squeeze your time, mamish. Squeeze it. And then the gift that you get, like the more you time, sorry, the more you squeeze your time, the more your time gives to you, the more there is to squeeze. That's the amazing thing. So it's a double win. It really is a double win.
From Chazi or Chazi, and it's Chachma and Yashar were the other two?
Yeah, Chazi, like Tachazi, the Zohar says C. Chazi is C in Aramaic. So Chochem is Yosha. That's according to the Ramban. That is what an Anshe Chayil is. That is like basically a Geshmaka Yid is a Chochem, a Zoriz, and a Yosha. which is beautiful when you think. I mean, you could write a book on that little thing there. Chochem Zois Yosher. That's a good thing to remember. Yeah, you want to be a Chochem, which means be wise, be able to predict the future, extrapolate to the future, be sensitive, everything that it means wisdom. Yeah, Zoris, be effective, be quick, don't waste time, be effective. And Yosha, be betachlis Yoshus, tachlis Yoshus. Never compromise your Yoshus. Never. Not even a little bit. Okay, so yeah, avoid this. So it's trying to make you feel fat and heavy, and it doesn't want to be matriach gufay bezrizas. It doesn't want to be matriach the goof to bother the goof with zrizas, with being quick. Yeah, b'chol minei toirech avoid this ma'aser avoid this Hashem sheyesh but toirech v'amu. And it doesn't want you to push in any way. Like everyone's so scared, like we speak about the whole time. Everyone's so scared about getting burned out. Yeah. Be more fearful of getting snuffed out. Don't worry about getting burned out. Most of us aren't running the risk of getting burned out. Okay. Kagon la'amol b'Torah b'Ian u'b'Peh. So be amol in Torah with b'Ian and Peh. Mamash, understand it. Go deep, get it mamash crystal clear. Which means it means in quality and in quantity, meaning don't let go of the Torah for a minute. And when you're in the Torah, try, put yourself into it. There's some limudim that's much easier. And then there's some limudim that takes a lot more application. So either way, quality and quantity. Okay, lo'olam yosim lo pasik b'mi yemigeza kama azal lo'olam yosim adam atzmai al divrei Torah kashor lo'oil or kachamo l'masui. Put yourself to Torah like this really needs to be drushed very deeply, like an ox to its oil and like a chamor to its burden. Okay, that should really be drushed. V'chein l'tefillah b'kavana, and also the tefillah b'kavana b'kol koichoi mamash. Yeah, what does it mean? What does it mean squeezing yourself into filler? So I'll tell you what I understand it to mean that I learned from my Rebbe, which is it means to be brutally honest. It doesn't mean that you're begging, please, yeah. It means that you're being brutally honest with the Ribbono Shel Olam. You're saying to him what you need. I need to stop snapping at my wife. I need to stop giving her that look that makes her feel like she's worth nothing. I need to stop being condescending and impatient. I need that's real. That's avoidance of tefillah, the way that I understand it from my Rebbe. That makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, not just deep begging with your eyes squeezed very tight. Yeah, maybe there's a time and place for that. I don't know, but just brutal honesty with Ribbono Shel Olam, telling him what's up. Ribbono Shel Olam, I really need help with this. Every time I come into the house, I just jump into the pantry and I got potato chips all in my beard and Doritos in my payers and stuff and chocolate chips all over my shirt and help me, please, Shem, help me, please.
You're making me hungry.
Yeah.
Hashem, help me to eat potato chips without making such a mess.
Excellent. Wait, how do I do that? Oh, I wanted to do some kind of funny thing. Anyway, okay. Okay. With all of your energy. when it comes to tzedakah. Yeah, davar shebamamoin. Slicha. Those are come out avoid this at tzedakah. Ukiyotze be'elu. And like at tzedakah, yeah, give until it hurts. Give a little bit more than what you're comfortable. And Hashem will always give you the opportunity. Al tidag. You'll always get that opportunity to give a little bit more than what's comfortable. Okay? And in all of these avoiders with the milchama against the Yetzer and with its tachbulas, its concoctions against you. Lekara nefesh ha'adam sholafke sholoi lahafke mamoino ubruis gufoi, that it's trying to cool down the nefesh of the mensch so that he won't give up his money and his health. Imagine that, to want giving up your health for a bonus shlolem. Imagine that. Yeah, that's what the Alter Rebbe says. Yeah. Don't treat yourself with cotton gloves. Don't treat yourself with not cotton. Don't treat yourself with velvet gloves. Stop pampering yourself and get involved in serving the Rebbeinu Shalom mamash. And the amazing thing is when you take the gloves off, yeah, and you go bare knuckle, yeah, you'll see that you're much more impressive than you ever thought you were. Like we've said many times, you're running on 2 cylinders when you got 12 cylinders, and you'll never know unless you take the gloves off and stop massaging your back and making sure that that spray that people use to make sure that you're at the exact right temperature. And when things get a little bit hot, you're like, "Oy vey, it's so hot." Yeah, don't worry about it. You'll be all right. Imagine sometimes, like some of the times when we think about how we pamper ourselves, what we would say if we saw somebody doing that to themselves, how intolerant we'd be of that, like just get over it. Okay, the bed's not that comfortable. You'll be all right. It's okay. To make this milchama, yeah, to stand against the Yetzer. He says, listen, this l'kav shoy, and to defeat it. Korov ma'oid el ha'adam k'sheyasim el libo l'netzach ha'yetzer b'chol zeh. It's very close to you. It's very close. You are able to fight the Yetzer Hara. You really are. It's korov ma'oid, to be menatseach it. And more than this, to do even the opposite. It's much easier than getting tortured to death. Yeah, and tortured to death. Yeah, Shem Shagaras. You would be makabel that, so as not to be separated from the Rebbeinu Shalom. Even to bow to avoid Zara, even Pivalivo Ein Shavin, where you don't actually believe in it, Bichlal. Yeah, you would give up your life for that, and you would. So that's much easier. And when you give in to yourself, it's a bechina of. That is, if you want to be really stark, it's not the halacha of Avodah Zarah, but that is the inyan of Avodah Zarah. You're worshipping another god. Stop worshipping yourself. Pull yourself together and get a hold of yourself. And I'm talking to myself here, by the way. And stop. Pull yourself together. Stop worshipping yourself. You're not worthy of worship. We're here to worship the Rebbeinu Shalom. I'm a couple of hours of lots and surely point me who the Vachzuzah is, but I feel the fish is to have a void desire has for shalom, even for a moment. The kosher cane, she yesh loy le kabel bi'av of lots and kadei le dab kaboy le oil and void, and all the more so you're going to work hard to be dovik. If you'd give up your life to not be separated from Hashem, then all the more so you'll give up. You'll give up whatever's necessary to be davik to Hashem forever. Dahainu k'shi'asu tzonu yizbach ba'avodah zu yiskale b'pnimius rotzen elyon b'bechinas ponim. That when you start investing yourself in these avoiders you end up experiencing the ponim, the face of Hashem, because you're giving him your face and he gives you his face. You transition from being a turtle to being Mario, as we've said many, many times. That's what he just said there in language of 250 years ago. Yeah, you transition from being a turtle to being Mario, and then you start to experience the creator of the game, the Gilui Rav, the Loi Behester Klau, and then Hashem drops the veil. He says, if you wanna be mechaber your face to me, yeah, and give me everything you've got, then I'm gonna let go of everything and I'm gonna give you everything I've got. Because shum hester panim, and when there's no hester panim, that's an alien. As I aim davar nifar klali yeshu davar b'fnei atzmoi. At that point, there is no separation from Hashem. You've stopped feeling like a davar b'fnei atzmoi. So it's funny, the more you push yourself, the more infinite you become. And infinity doesn't feel separate from anything. You feel mamash like, and this is the giveaway. Yeah, if you ever meet somebody who's really pushing himself, yeah, because don't forget, pushing yourself doesn't always mean that you're being holy. Doesn't mean that at all. Yeah, but if you meet a guy who's really pushing himself, but you can see that there's sinus chinam, or there's, you know, there is an Ahavas Yisrael. There's a lot of criticism. There's a lot of separation in him. Yeah, then that's not how it is. But listen to Sumar Zilberberg speak. Yeah, the man pushes himself to the end every day. Yeah, and you listen to him speak. It's Kulu Ahavas Yisrael, Kulu Ava, Kulu. He's so Echad Yachid and Muchad. He's so the opposite of Davar Bifnei Atzmoi. Yeah, that's always the benchmark. Remember that the benchmark is always your Ahavas Yisrael. That's the only way that I know of gauging where you're holding in your Avodas Hashem. The only way I know is your Ahavas Yisrael. And where's the ultimate gili of your Ahavas Yisrael, by the way?
Your wife?
Your wife?
At home.
Yeah. There's an announcement. Tiene nafsha elokis v'chiyunis v'vijen kulam miyuchadim betachlis hayichud b'rotzen elyon v'or ein sei baruch. He just said it. He just said the whole thing. Yeah, that is the tikkun haklali. Yeah, everything becomes bound up. That's what we call shalom uvrocha. Yeah, where everything becomes bound up in the oneness of the Ribono Shel Olam. Your nefesh elokis, your nefesh bahamis, all the levushim, your goof. The whole thing just becomes one shtick godly. And this yichud is nitzchi. It's eternal. It's not to do with time. Because he is l'mala min hazman. And the more, this is very like, to explain this we'll try. Let's just read through it and we'll try and explain if I understand it myself. He's l'mala min hazman. Okay, gilui v'tzoinoi should be diburoi, and the gilui of his ratzon should be diburoi. In his speech, even in this world, she had Torah who nitzchi. That's also nitzchi. V'davar Elokeinu yakum la'olam, and the word of Hashem lasts forever. Devav chayim v'kayomim v'lo yachli v'lo yamed da'atoi le'olamim. Yeah, and he brings 3 psukim to explain how this kesher is infinite, is without, it's l'mala min hazman. Why? Because it's about the person. It's about you. It's not about your action. We're not talking about your behavior here. We're talking about what the behavior is doing. You with me? Behavior is the opposite of l'mala min hazman. One of the definitions of behavior, dafka, is that it's betoich zman. It's shaykh zman. Like it's called garments because you put them on and you take them off. They're very much there ultimately bound to time. Yeah, but we're talking about the mensch himself. The mensch himself is the Ma'ala min Hazman, and that's what we're talking about. The person is becoming more lishma, which means he's getting more connected to Hashem. We're not talking about the behavior, so that's Lamala min Hazman. But down here in the world of action, yeah, the world of behavior, which is under the dominion of Zan, or b'mitzvah, ki acher kach im oisek b'davar acher nifad meyichud ha'elyon lemata. That then when a person in this world is doing something that isn't mitzvah, yeah, which could be reshus, but being used in as mitzvah, then he becomes separated. But that's only in this world, not the makor of who he is. When he's mamash involved in things that have got no connection to Hashem, we're not talking about Aveira. Even so, when he does tshuva and he returns to Hashem, achakach l'toyla tefillah u'mevakesh mechila me'Hashem, and he's mevakesh mechila for the fact that he was al shahaya efshlo la'asoik az b'toyra v'loy asok, because he wasted time. Hashem yislach loy, Hashem forgives him. Kamar zal over al mitzvahs asay v'shav loy zaz mesham ad shemoichlin loy. Yeah, no matter what. If you miss a mitzvah's assay and you do tshuva, it's a gemara in Yuma, they are moichu you immediately. You don't leave the place until they're moichu you. Ulezeh tiknu b'chas slach lanu shloish pamim b'chol yom al avam bittul Torah shen adam nitzom amenu b'chol yom. And that is why we say slach lanu every day, 3 times a day, is for the aveira of bittul Torah, that we are. There's always going to be bittul Torah. Yeah. So that's that Yitzi just missed that one little thing. That the reason why we say slach lanu 3 times a day is for the aveira of bittul Torah. Okay. This isn't what we spoke about on the last page, the idea of I will do an aveira and I will do tshuva. Meaning I will do an aveira and then I'll do tshuva, is only when you're actually doing the aveira with the intention that you're going to do tshuva from the aveira. Yeah, that's a problem. This isn't a problem. This is just how we are. We waste time. It was a Yuvan Lama Tziva Moshe Ben Lava Shalom B'Mishnah Torah L'Dor Shenichnas La'aretz Likos Kriyishma Pa'amayim B'Chol Yoim L'Kabla Lab Malchus Shemayim B'Mesiras Nefesh. This is now the finale, the siyum of the past few months that we've been learning, from chapters 18. This is the finale, and this is the reason why Moshe Rabbeinu commanded us in Devarim, that we should say Kriyas Shema in Mamash Pashas Veschanim, that we should say Kriyas Shema twice a day, and with Mesiras Nefesh. Why? V'lo yavtiach lahem. He asked the question: didn't he make a promise to us? Pachtechem. Mamash al Pasha. Was it last week's Pasha? No, it's Mamash Akev, Mamash Pashas Akev, Mamash. Yeah. Pachtechem u'merachem yitein Hashem. That Hashem's going to put the pachad and the moira of you on the goyim. So why do you have to? Why he's asking a question? What's the inyan of Mesiras Nefesh by Kriyas Shema? Why do you have to be Mesiras Nefesh? You're going into the land. All the goyim are going to be scared of you. Yeah. So what's with the Mesiras Nefesh thing? It's not Mesiras Nefesh. You're just going to walk into the land. The whole Kol Yeh B'Seder. Yeah, he says Ella. This is the siyum of the whole thing. Mishum, because Shakim Matayr Mitzvah Talui B'Zeh, that your doing of mitzvahs of learning Torah and its mitzvahs are dependent on this. Sheyizkor Tamid Inyam Mesiras Nafsho LaHashem, that you should always remember that you would give up your life for the Ribbono Shel Olam. Al Yichudoi, for his yichud. Sheyeh kavua belibo tamid mamash yomam v'layla. You have to keep that deeply in mind, that you would give up your life for the Borei Sholem, and all of your mitzvahs and all of your Torah should be coming from that place. V'lo yomish mizichroino, and it should not be removed from your memory. Ki b'zeh yochol la'amoid neged yitzroi lenitzchoi tamid b'chol eisa b'chol sha'ah kanal, because that is what's going to give you the energy to serve Hashem in the way that you should serve him. And it's just like we said, it kind of finishes on this. If you're prepared to die for it, then live for it. That's it. This is Rav Noach Weinberg Zatzal's famous thing. If you've got nothing to die for, then you've got nothing to live for. And the Rebbe here is saying it in a more, like on the opposite side. He's saying that if you're prepared to die for it, then give up your life for it. Yeah, if you'd give your life up for your children, then make sure you're living for them. If you give your life up for your life, then make sure you're living for her. If you'll give your life up for reality, then make sure you're living for reality. Don't get deluded and distracted. Remember, Hochem, Zoriz, and Yosha. Bezrat Hashem. Okay, everyone should be gebenched.